Tell us more about, let's dig in a little bit more specifically on the Clare platform. What are the pieces and parts and such?
So, let's kind of talk about, what we integrate and how we work. The heart of the system is really the ClareOne panel. That is our smart home and security panel. It looks like a really nice 7-inch tablet. It's a high-resolution screen, gets mounted typically near an entrance or a central location within a house. The homeowner has the capability to control their entire system from their touch panel. They also have the capability to control their entire system from the app. And keep in mind, these features I'm talking about here are no fee. So these are no-fee features. The customer, we integrate to, we have a video doorbell, plus we work with third-party video doorbells. So when you have a Clare panel in the house, let's say someone rings the doorbell, it of course rings to your phone, but also rings to your panel. So you can actually do intercom, no monthly fee. So we've now added a free intercom feature within our system. We tie in CO2 detectors, smoke detectors, sirens, door window sensors. One of my favorites, water sensors. I had one of those about 6 months ago trigger and saved me a significant amount of water damage because one of my sensors went off. And so, the goal of the system is not just, I talk about those fun smart home features, but really at a glance, know what's going on with your home. I live in Houston, Texas. I'm here in Nashville. I know that my system is armed. I can see my cameras. I can see the status of my sensors. I can see the status of my smokes, my CO2s. I know what's going on at the house for no monthly fee. But then going back, we tie in the smart thermostats, we tie in the locks, we tie in the garage door openers, but we also take it one step further. We do audio with, some of our industry partners like Sonos and Hios Audio. So now we start to wrap entertainment into it. We can do gates, we can do pools, we can do fireplaces. We can do shades. One of our partners here at the show right now, Hunter Douglas, we work closely with them. We have great shade control options. So we're really giving you total control over your entire house within the Clare Controls.
And talk to me about the user interface, the control functionality that integrates with these ecosystem partners. I mean, is that, are you getting almost the full native control of those devices through the ClareOne interface in most cases?
Yep. Yeah. We usually typically do about 90% of what that specific device does. We want to make sure that, we can replace that app as much as possible. That is really the goal. But we also really wanted to keep it very simple. Some devices like door locks is as simple as lock and unlock, but I can also go in there and I can change user codes and I can change door lock codes. But at a glance, I can push it and hit lock or unlock. So we wanted to simplify the control. But it is very powerful. That is a very good question because, when we are taking over all those devices, we have to give you the capability to say, I don't really need this app anymore.
So your R&D team is digging in to understand what the core essential functionality is. And then I'm assuming they're also spending a good amount of time trying to understand how to render that on your UI so it's intuitive and easy to use as well.
Yes, and we actually have two sides to our beta team. So you mentioned our dealers, integration partners. They're a large part of our beta team, but we also have a large consumer beta team, including a number of our builder partners. Recently when we launched our brand new doorbell, I had a number of our builders that got some of the first generations of those and gave us feedback because we want, engineers do a great job, but sometimes they're engineers.
They like a lot of buttons on stuff sometimes.
And so having that consumer feedback definitely helps us really evolve the system so that it works for everybody. I really like this slide, and there's a lot of stuff here, but the reason I like this is it really speaks to what we control. And if you remember, right when I started talking about the system, I mentioned we started as a high-end automation company. What's unique about that is there is a lot of great security and smart home providers in the market today. They started as smart home or security companies that started to evolve into smart home. We started as a smart home automation company that evolved into security. So we have one of the most robust platforms for third-party device control. And one of the most intuitive. So we do smart lighting control, we do home security, we do security cameras, we do smart thermostats, we do voice control, we do garage door openers, we do shade control, wireless audio, like I mentioned, gates, pools, fireplaces. The one area that we don't dabble in anymore that we did pull out of our system was entertainment, as long as like TVs, home theaters. video distribution, universal remotes. But luckily, we're under the umbrella with Snap and Control4. We're a Control4 partner. So we integrate very nicely into Control4 for high-end automation and control. John, one of my builders actually uses Clare and Control4. They use us in their entry to mid-level, and then for the real high-end stuff, they use Control4. Yeah. What's nice is once that, we kind of meet, that synergy meets, you don't have to take out Clare. We actually integrate right into the Control4 system.
Right.
So now within the Control4 automation app, the customer can control their security and Clare system and their Control4 system all under one app.
And you personally mediate that range of solutions for the builder as the builder business development guy. Correct?
Yep.
So you're able to consult with them across multiple lines.
Yep. Yeah, they're looking for an entry-level system, all the way up to a high-end system. We're able to speak to that. We're always looking to add more stuff. We're always looking to update this with new device and new device control. And again, we take a lot of that feedback from our dealers and from our consumers.
Yep.
Through the Clare system, we have the ClareOne app, which controls your smart home. We're a free smart home control system. I do want to add a caveat to that is, Clare does do security, and that is the only pay that comes in with Clare, is if you want a monitored security system. So if you want, you want police or fire to respond to an incident, then that's where the fee comes in with Clare. And I will say one nice thing about that is, since we don't charge for all the other features that most of our competitors do, the monitoring rate for Clare tends to be quite a bit lower than what we see for the average.
Right.
But outside of security, self-monitoring is free, device control, your cameras, even down to something as simple as a video doorbell, which everybody loves, there's no charge for our video doorbell. We really understood the pushback that came from builders on the fee side. And we kind of dabbled in, okay, what if we did a free period? What if we did this? And at the end of the day, one of my builders jokingly said, he's like, I don't put pay toilets in my house. He's like, I don't want to put anything in here that my customer has to pay for.
He's behind the trends.
And that's really been the sticking point for our builders, has been, I want a system that works the technology we're putting in, but I'm not handing my customer a fee.
Gotcha.
And we also have a very robust line of surveillance and cameras. We can do standalone surveillance. You can put it in with a security system. And again, something else that's almost unheard of in our industry is there's no monthly fees for any of our cameras, down to our doorbell. And we wanted this to be a real simple user interface. The customer can simply open up their app and they can see what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been kind of out on the forefront on the residential video surveillance piece for a while, right? You acquired the Visual Int line, which I think was integrated in with the controls here, or that was one of the claims to fame of the Visual Int side of things. So your differentiators here are quality of pictures, lack of latency, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. We wanted to bring the consumer level experience. So, Ring and Nest, they got some great interfaces, when you're using those products.
Yeah.
But, on some sides, the product side and, the actual picture quality and things, we're not to the level that you'd see on the integration side. And we really wanted to bring those two together and bring a easy to use interface with a high quality product. That still doesn't, saddle the customer with a monthly.
Yeah. And we're really hearing that this surveillance piece is extremely in demand, right? That people's hunger for the surveillance, not just the video doorbell, but multiple nodes. I want a camera on my roof so that I can keep the raccoons from ripping the tiles off and trying to have a nest in my attic, but I haven't got that yet.
It's one of those things, once you have it, it's very, very hard to live without it. So, kind of recapping with this is we're a scalable system. Whether you're just looking for a simple security system, you want to control a couple of smart devices, or you're controlling hundreds of smart devices throughout a house, they want to make sure it's integrating with the stuff that our customers are using from day to day. If it's as simple as Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant voice control, to some of the newest cutting edge technology that's out there, we're always pushing to stay in front of that and making sure we're giving the solutions that our customers are asking for. And lastly is we want people to use it. it's got to be a user-friendly system that people day to day are comfortable with using and really does give their access to their home. So much so, I talked about a while ago as resale. We find a lot of customers want to take their system with them, to their new house when they're upgrading their homes. And so, that really speaks to how much it's no longer a feature, but really a necessity that they're looking for with it.
So differentiators.
And again, I spoke this a little bit ago, but when it comes back to the builder is, we're a soup to nuts system. So it's not just, okay, I've picked a smart home system, now what? It's also helping our builders launch those programs, doing sales training with them. We don't want to make the builder the expert, but we want to give enough information that they can speak to it. We do kickoff sales training with their sales teams so that when customers ask about smart home, they can say, this is why we chose this. It's a no-fee smart home. It does this, this, and this.
I have to understand the basics, be able to convey the basic benefits, and enthusiasm for the product line, I think, are the keys.
Yep.
So whatever you need to do to get their sales team there for a good handoff to the integrator typically is, definitely part of the success equation, I would say.
It's 100%. And, one universal truth with salespeople, if they're not comfortable with something, they will not talk about it. And so we put a lot of time and energy into making sure that they are comfortable with the systems and that they do know how to use them and they can speak to it. And that's where that training piece comes in. I'll tell you, a lot of times when we sit down with a builder for the first time, we come in with the marketing material pre-done. We show them what it looks like, welcome to your smart home. This is what's included. Here are the options. And that always really, stands out with them because that's the other part of it is, if I get a home buyer all the way to closing that has no idea that I'm getting a smart home system, why are we doing this?
Right.
And so I think that's where the marketing piece comes in, is working with them to make sure that the messaging makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's also their messaging. We're not pushing a Clare smart home. We are pushing our builder's home. Yeah. We're not there to sell Clare to the customer. We're really there to build that value in that system.
Right. Yeah, ultimately you want to create lift for them on the sales of their homes by having the technology piece appropriately embedded in the overall messaging.
Exactly. Something else that I have builders ask is, can we just buy the system and can we have the homeowners put it in? We do not do that. That is one thing with our system is we do need an authorized dealer to install the system. Now, once it is installed, the customer has a lot of control over it. We feel that this is very important. We've had builders that have done DIY programs in the past. And again, you've got the customer coming back to the builder. How do I do this? How do I activate these? These devices aren't working together. And the builder's sending them off to the the manufacturer. The manufacturer is sending them right back to the build. We don't want to be in that loop.
Sure.
And that's where it comes in with our authorized dealer channel. We really want that white glove service.
Yep.
Customers got a lot on their plate when they're moving in. We want their system up and running and go, Mr. Customer, here you go.
Yep.
Here's how everything works. I've got everything set up for you. Let's go through and make sure you're comfortable with it. And that really makes the overall experience better. So just kind of recapping, we're a no-fee smart home. I cannot say that enough. That is one of the coolest things about us. We do smart home. We do security. There's a lot of great systems out there that have various little features here and there that are unique. We kind of bring all that in together. We truly meld those
And at a
two
high
industries.
level, too,
Yep.
on that security and that surveillance piece in particular.
Absolutely. One app control for the entire house, full device support, for brands that people recognize, and fully scalable from, luxury to high volume houses. List of a number, like I said, we work with about 100 different builders, a number of builders that we currently work with that are using our product. Kind of, a little bit about Clare in the industry, some recent builders that we've launched with, previous builders that are currently using us, just kind of speaks to, you see us out there in the field. And the thing I like about both these articles that came out, this one's from Fisher Homes, another one from MI, is it really spoke to why they chose Clare, and that no fee was one of the biggest ones, multiple times. And again, in this industry with a lot of great technology, most of it is fee-based. And builders and customers have really came out and said, hey, we don't want to be strapped to a fee.
Yeah.